Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining. My name is Anish Prasla. I'm a senior manager for the NetSuite practice here at the RAND Group. Today we're going to talk about how NetSuite is delivering AI in a practical, governed way, specifically by combining Text Enhance with Prompt Studio and Narrative Insight. In this session, we'll talk about how these help users do everyday work better by writing text more clearly, expand on explanation and improve consistency, and provide concise summaries of reports and records. If you've been curious about NetSuite AI but unsure where it fits safely, this session is meant to give you clarity and confidence. So what we'll talk about today. First, we'll look at where AI already exists in NetSuite today and the problems before AI. Then we'll focus on Text Enhance and why it's one of the best places to start. From there, we'll talk about a challenge many organizations run into, like inconsistent prompts and inconsistent results, and how Prompt Studio helps solve that. Then we'll go over narrative insights, how it generates summaries for reports and records. We'll walk through a detailed demo scenario, covering not just AI output, but how prompts can be refined and reused, and how to generate the summaries using AI. And we'll close with adoption best practices and key takeaways you can apply right away. When people hear AI in NetSuite, they sometimes assume it's a single feature or a chatbot. But NetSuite AI today is embedded directly into workflows users already touch. You see it in text generation and refinement, document capture and OCR, narrative insights, intelligent close manager, intelligent bill capture, AI-powered bank transaction matching, NetSuite AI, Suite Answers AI, NetSuite Analytics Warehouse, SuiteScript, generative AI, upcoming features like NetSuite Next, and many other features. What's important is that NetSuite's approach is assistive. AI is there to support users, not to run the system on its own. Almost every NetSuite customer has the same challenge: repetitive writing, inconsistent description quality, explanations vary by user experience and are often unclear, manual time-consuming processes, limited visibility into complex data patterns, automations were rigid that could not adapt to changing business environments, and newer users often struggle the most because writing clear finance and operational explanations takes experience. This is exactly the kind of problem AI is well suited to help with. That brings us to Text Enhance. Text Enhance provides AI assistance directly inside NetSuite fields, for example, descriptions, notes, and other long-form text fields. Users can ask AI to rewrite text more clearly, expand an explanation, or summarize existing content. It uses company-specific and relevant data from NetSuite. Quickly and easily generate contextual and personalized content, draft item description, sales communication notes, and other long-form text fields. Boost productivity by capitalizing on the power of AI, maintain consistent voice and tone, enhance clarity and comprehension, and Text Enhance can also help you translate your content into other languages. Now, once teams start using AI, a new challenge appears. AI output depends heavily on how it's prompted. If every user writes their own prompts, their tone varies, level of detail varies, quality varies. That becomes hard to govern at scale, and hard to train. Organizations need consistency without locking users into a rigid automation. This is where Prompt Studio comes in. Prompt Studio allows organizations to centrally define and manage standard AI prompts. Instead of every user improvising how they talk to AI, you define the tone, the structure, and the expectations. It lets you manage generative AI prompts and text enhanced actions, prompts give the LLM detailed instructions for completing a text-enhanced action, create custom text-enhanced actions, and let prompts in their prompts for your account. Override standard text-enhanced actions, create and manage generic prompts for your SuiteScript code, and create and manage AI-related SuiteCloud Development Framework custom objects. Think of it as setting guidelines for AI behavior, not rules for users. You improve output consistency without removing flexibility. Together, Prompt Studio and Prompts let you create new custom text enhanced actions and their prompts for your company's account. Once the actions and prompts are saved, NetSuite users will see them in the applicable text enhanced menus. When customizing a system text enhanced prompt, your version overrides the system prompt for the text enhanced actions. Prompt Studio and Text Enhance. Here's how they work together. The user enters text just like always. They use text enhanced actions behind the scene. Prompt Studio provides a standardized prompt to guide the AI. The user reviews the result and decides what to do next. So you get consistent AI behavior, enforcement of brand voice, context-aware accuracy, scalable efficiency, reduced development costs, and multi-language consistency. Next AI feature is Narrative Insights. It uses generative AI to provide concise summaries of supported reports and records. It helps you quickly identify the most relevant information and may surface trends, anomalies, risks, opportunities, or data gaps. Displays a summary based on the content you're viewing. It's only available in accounts that have been upgraded to 2026.1 and only for the following records and reports. Now, let's walk through a use case. In this demo, we'll first check if Text Enhance, Prompt Studio, and Narrative Insight are enabled on the system. Then create an inventory item and use the Text Enhance feature to generate the sales description. Then create a Text Enhance action and create a prompt for the action and generate a more specific result. And you'll see the sales description improves and provides more details. Then we'll generate a summary of a report and then a record. All right, first, let's enable Text Enhance on the account with Prompt Studio and Narrative Insight. So under Setup, Company, AI Preferences. So here we will enable Text Enhance, which on my system is already enabled, and Prompt Studio and Narrative Insights. You can also see for each of these there are monthly usages for the account. They include a pool of limited free usages. If you want to get the unlimited usage, you'll need to set up an Oracle Cloud account with Oracle Generative AI Services. And if you have that account, you can enter that under Settings and check this box, and you can enter all that information here. So now that we have all the features enabled, let's start off by creating an inventory item. We'll enter the name, the display name here, and the vendor, and a brief description. So this description is short, vague, and technically accurate, but it doesn't really sell the item or set expectations. So there are several options we can use here under the Text Enhance action. There's a cleanup, make longer, shorter, translate, and each of these prompts are out of the box from NetSuite. So to get a better detailed description, we'll use the Generate button and let NetSuite's AI generate a more detailed description. So you can see here that it generated this description and entered it here. So notice the difference. The The system hasn't changed, the data hasn't changed, but only the description has improved. So it also uses other fields from the form, like the vendor name you can see here, even the minimum quantity. So if I enter this and regenerate it, it will include that in the description. So this is using the native prompt provided by NetSuite. So it includes all these fields. So now let's say the leadership wants the description to consistently call out key features and intended use. This way there's fewer questions, less sales rework, or more consistent buyer experience. Instead of retraining every rep, we update the prompt once in Prompt Studio. And then they can apply that the prompt on all the sales descriptions for all the items. So let's head over to the Prompt Studio and search the prompt and modify it. So under prompts, we see all the native prompts here. Let's filter it by the inventory item. We were using the sales description, and we'll do it for English. So here is the native prompt. And you can see the prompt that was used here, and it includes that vendor name, the minimum quantity, and the maximum quantity. So let's say if you want to exclude this vendor name, the quantities out of this prompt. So now we can save this and override the default prompt. So to save it, what we do have to modify one of these fields, or it won't let us save it. So normally I'll just select a language variant. So we'll say English US and save it. So now if we go back to our item and refresh, re-enter the item name, the display name, the vendor, the minimum quantity, and regenerate the description, and you'll see that it does not include that vendor name and the quantity since we took that out. So now let's say you wanted to create your own action and a prompt for the action to make that available for your users. So we would go back to our Prompt Studio, and then under Text Enhance Actions, we can create a new Text Enhance action, give it a name, let's call it Additional Details, and hit Save. So there's no other information here, but we can use this action now in our prompts. So let's go here, we'll create a new prompt. We'll call this Generate Additional Details for an inventory item. We want this for inventory item, for the sales description, and under action we'll select our additional details action. So for our prompt, I have this prompt here, which all it does is generates additional details for the item. It provides 3 minimum sentences and how it can be best used, and also include the target audience. And if there is already some description in there, it'll include that at the top. So now let's save this and go back to our inventory item, refresh this page. Let's enter the name, display name, the vendor, and now under the Text Enhance action, you'll see the Additional Details button. And now you'll see that it will generate using the prompt that we created, which included the target audience. Target audience is hardcore gamers. There you go. So this is how you would use Text Enhance and Prompt Studio. So now let's take a look at narrative insight features. We'll run this on our income statement report. Click that. And here it already loaded up last year's income statement. So we'll just click on this generate insight. And it will review the data and create a summary for us. So here you can see that there's top line findings, risks, and opportunities. And it'll create different summaries for different types of reports. And you can also do the same thing with the items. So here there's the generate insight button. And when you click it, it'll generate a summary for the inventory item. This could take some time since oh, there you go. So yeah, here we have the summary and price highlights. So yeah, and it supports different records as we saw, so you can generate the same summary on different record types. So this was a short demo on how to use Text Enhance and Prompt Studio to modify the native prompts or create new custom actions and prompts, which gives you the flexibility to generate content based on your needs, and it's standardized for all users. And Narrative Insight to generate a summary for your reports and records. So a few practical rollout tips. Start small. Use 1 or 2 fields to create prompts for. Train users not just how but when to use AI. Review early outputs and refine prompts centrally. Then expand once tone and quality are dialed in. A few key ideas to take away from today. First, NetSuite AI is really about improving how people work. It's not replacing users, and it's not running the system for them. Instead, it's embedded directly into the workflows they already use, helping them be clearer, faster, and more consistent in their everyday work. Text Enhance is what makes AI genuinely usable by bringing AI directly into NetSuite fields like descriptions, notes, and other long text fields. It helps users write better content without changing how they work or adding complexity. But as we saw, AI results are only as good as the prompts behind them. When everyone prompts AI differently, the quality and tone vary, and that doesn't scale well across an organization. That's where Prompt Studio really comes in. It allows you to define clear guidelines for how AI should behave without turning AI into rigid automation. You get consistency and governance, while users still review the output and make the final decisions. And that's the balance NetSuite is aiming for: consistency without taking control away from users. Finally, successful AI adoption doesn't happen overnight. It comes from starting small, refining prompts over time, and being intentional about where and how AI is used. If there's one thing to remember, it's this: AI delivers the most value when it's practical, governed, and designed to support people, not replace them. Thank you again for joining today. Hopefully this gave you a clearer picture of how AI can help users in NetSuite in a way that adds value.